Welcome, welcome, everyone. My name is Ursula, and today I am with Julia Balaz, and we are co hosting this wonderful celebration of our 13th Quantum Soul Guidance Practitioner. Welcome, Sarah Davis, and
Thank
congratulations.
you. Thank
Woohoo.
you.
Yay. The energy is just electric. There is this portal of light that has opened, and we are still feeling the lion's gate as we say congratulations to the magic number 13. 13 moons in a year. 13 is the number of the divine feminine. It was given a bad rap for so long, the unlucky 13, but instead in 2022, we now hold the blessed 13 and call in the divine feminine, this portal of light, the mother energy and support. Welcome.
Congratulations, Sarah. So
Thank
wonderful
you.
to have you here. Can't wait to hear your story and present your beautiful work to the audience. Well done.
There is this tingling energy that I just can't help but feel. And Sarah, when I started looking at your beautiful website and learning a little bit more about you and tuning into your energy, I had to go put my yoga clothes on and just I even have like Alma's little, this Sri yantra moving in this sacred vessel that we create with the three of us. So whoever is going to be listening to this in the future, we just say, allow yourself to move into that beautiful heart chakra and connecting in with Divine Mother, Mother Earth, celebrating you. So, as Julia mentioned, we would certainly love, love, love to hear your journey, to understand as you've been in this incarnation as Sarah Davis. Tell us a little bit about how it is that you came upon quantum soul guidance and the path that you've chosen to walk.
Thank you so much for allowing me into this space and for holding such a beautiful container. It's just been, when I came across Julia's work, it was a full body yes within an instant. I was like, I have to do this work. So yeah, it's been an amazing journey. And I guess I find it really hard to put myself into any kind of like label, but I think fundamentally I'm just a truth seeker. I'm just constantly searching for the truth. And when I was a child, I always felt really I was always daydreaming and looking up into the sky, and I felt quite misplaced really in society. I loved everything that was magical and mystical, and definitely more of an etheric being than an earth being. I now realize. Yeah, I found it hard. I found structures hard. I found it hard to be in school. And so I went through my early years being very different to everyone else. And then in my early 20s, I managed to get myself in the corporate roles, and I worked incredibly hard for 10 years and was very successful as a career woman. And yeah, that kind of eventually led to me completely disassociating from who I was. I was very in my mind, I disconnected from my heart, from my essence, really, especially my feminine essence. And then it was 8 years ago, on the 22nd of August, I I became pregnant with my first child, and I just fell apart, completely fell apart, because the feminine creation itself broke me open, I lost control, I had no control over anything. I just was becoming a mother, I didn't understand how to trust and surrender and to soften. And yeah, it kind of led me on a journey of really unpeeling all the layers of myself that I had falsely, I'd created this illusionary self, I think, for so long. And I just went on this journey of self-exploration, and it really reconnected me to the roots of who I am on a soul level. And it was like as soon as I lifted open Pandora's box, I just couldn't stop seeking, couldn't stop learning and understanding and asking the questions. And yeah, that led me on a journey to be a yoga teacher. I then became a Reiki. I did my Reiki level 1, 2, and 3, my masters, and I teach other people Reiki. And I then became a shamanic practitioner, an Akashic Records reader, and then obviously galactic astrology. And within that, there was a very strong theme of the feminine, of working with the moon cycles. I've helped a lot of women with menstrual cycles and doing women's circles. I work with archetypes. And it's just been, I mean, I just love it. I just love everything that's mystical and magical. And the feminine is very dear to my heart because I think I really misjudged and misplaced the feminine parts of myself, in my early years, in my middle years. And the earth is just screaming out for these feminine energies, for this love and compassion and intuition. I'd moved away from, kind of my heart space, really. And so my beautiful little boy kind of, it made me realize made me remember what it was like to be a woman again, to be connected to my feminine. So yeah, that's kind of a bit about my story. I guess I've done a lot of deep inner healing over the past 8 years, unpeeling the layers. As everybody knows, on a healing journey is not always the easiest, but we have to go to those levels, right, to hold that amount of light, So yeah, that's kind of what I've been. I've been a busy little bee.
Amazing. What I hear from what you're saying, and as well what I've seen in your reports, is the beautifully combined masculine and feminine energies. I wanted to ask you, have you studied astrology prior to my course? Because in your reports, you have incorporated astrology so well, so brilliantly. And yet at the same time, there was a fair portion of amazing divine feminine intuitive insights from the soul records. So it was so exciting for me to see such a perfect 50-50 combination and perfect balance of practical guidance and really the astrology and then the soul records. Have you done astrology before?
It's such an interesting point that you raised, because astrology was something that I was always drawn to as a child. I would always remember if somebody told me the sun sign, I would remember it. Regardless, I'd always remember it. But I never went there because I always thought that it would be too complex and too mind, like too much in the mental mind. I always thought that because I'm so multifunctional and I like learning, I wasn't sure that I would be able to go into the detail of astrology. But actually, what I found when I started doing galactic astrology is that part of it came so naturally to me. It was like a language that I already know. And then I started remembering the connections as a child and how I've always known about, star signs and all this kind of stuff. So it's actually been a really beautiful complement to working with the Akashic Records. It's that for me, it's the left brain logical and the right brain higher wisdom and intuition. And my south node is in Capricorn in the 3rd house, and my north node is in Cancer in the 9th house. So it's almost like I get that side of me is there supporting me quite a lot. So yeah, it was, and that's what I was attracted to so much when I heard and started looking at your work, Julia. Was we live this reality is, it does favor the left brain quite a lot, the logic, and that's definitely shifting. But I appreciate people's need for that, and being able to combine the two is for me a perfect balance. You know, it's been able to combine the spiritual with the science. You know, it's just this it's this balanced approach, which for me is clearing that polarity. You know, so yeah, absolutely. I love that part of it now, actually. Mm.
Wow. And I love what you're sharing, Sarah, to call in this particular idea of empowerment, and balancing the masculine and feminine energies. And I wanted to mention too that you are landing in today from the UK in West Yorkshire, which is near Leeds. And Julia is calling us from Ireland, and I am landing in from California. So I
Mm.
just love seeing this idea of across the pond, across the ocean. But when we look at the lunar cycles and the divine feminine of the 13, you know, that we share this earthbound galactic journey. And so when you said that motherhood helped break you open, this return of the sacred womb,
Mm.
and it just seems to dovetail so nicely. And again, Akashic records, shamanic, Reiki, yoga, divine feminine, this is all working with that golden energy, you
Mm.
know. So I love that this remembering of astrology, of how to speak the language of light, um, is just activated now for you. So
Mm.
congratulations on that.
Thank you. Thank you.
And if you don't mind, I would love, love, love to share your beautiful, this is your beautiful website,
Mhm.
saraldavis.com. Sarah, look at how you just place this beautiful image, a self portrait, right in the land. I
Mm.
mean, just talk to me a little bit or share with us, please, about your gorgeous website and, in particular, the glyph that you chose to use in between your name, this logo.
Yeah, I mean, the logo holds so much power. Obviously the triangles are very the upside down triangle, and for me it is the kind of feminine and the masculine. And yeah, this was kind of created based on my theory of, basically, my work is very much centered around the balancing the masculine and the feminine. And obviously there's the swirl in it, which is the S. And when I look at my logo, there's so many different kind of elements that I see to it. You can see there's an eye in there, like the third eye. There's quite a lot of different components to it. And it's this kind of infinity and these cycles. My photography around this was very, my work is connected to the earth, really deeply connected to the earth and the cycles of the earth. And Gaia, working with Gaia, she is a feminine energy. So yeah, and what I tried to do, I played with the archetypes within myself to create this website. So I'm capturing the many facets of us as women, and the fact that we are so multidimensional and complex, but in a very beautiful way. So
Wow.
yeah, it was I loved that. I loved doing that photo shoot. It was amazing.
And that's just one of many images that
Mm.
you share. I just love that you embrace your your full body. It's almost like, as an artist myself, it's saying this is just who I am
Mm.
without any apology. So you've been able, and it's very sensual too. So it's this idea of
Mhm.
I am who I am without having to apologize or
Mhm.
mask or make you feel comfortable.
Yeah,
And you're
yeah.
not afraid to show your the sexual self too, as far as this, you know, um, way of showing up, Julia.
Beautiful feminine. When I browsed through the website, I was curious where your Venus is, and it's in the fourth house and in Aquarius, right? And
Mm.
it speaks volumes, like it's really coming through so beautifully through your website. Such an amazing manifestation. Venus in fourth house, which is connected to the mother, to the earth, to the feminine, to the roots, to the traditions, and deep, deep ancestors. And in Aquarius, ruled by Uranus and Saturn, if we go by the traditional. So again, the traditions, and also bringing kind of the new way, the new language, combining the tradition with the new in such a beautiful, stunning way. I just loved seeing that manifested.
Yeah,
So
I mean, I love that's why I love shamanism so much, because it's so rooted in the earth. And because I'm quite in the ethers, I almost need, the earth to keep me grounded and pull the energy down, that I'm kind of like channeling from the higher realms. So yeah, I mean, there's so much beauty, in the earth and the old rituals. The School of Forgotten Wisdom is about bringing back that wisdom, of our ancestors, of tribes, indigenous tribes and cultures, so yeah.
if I may share, I hope you don't mind me saying this, but the way your astrological charts, galactic astrology, fixed stars alignments manifested in your childhood, in your earlier years, I really just want to point it out because we discussed this recently in our group call on royal stars. You have many conjunctions to nebulas and like Lyra Nebula and the galactic center conjunction to your Neptune, and you have Arcturus conjunctions, and you have all these amazing, powerful points on the sky that are conjuncting significant points throughout your chart. So naturally, that manifested as ethereal being, as being more natural rather than being this 3D human and very much comfortable in this world. No, you're very open to multi-dimensional, multi-galactic spheres, and it's not easy to navigate that in childhood, especially if you don't have a mentor to help you navigate that, right? So it's amazing to see it in a chart, and then you actually speaking the story, and I'm just so excited.
And I think interestingly, when we're younger, we have to go through navigating the complexities of being within that reality, and that was deeply challenging for me actually as a child, going through that process of amnesia and forgetting, forgetting everything. And then we spend the second half of our life remembering, right? And that's a beautiful bit. But yeah, and I often used to kind of really criticize myself for being that way, because I didn't feel like I was similar to everybody else, because in some ways I was maybe felt like I was flaky or inconsistent, and actually I now see that as such a gift, but before when I was younger, it was a challenge, for me.
And it sounds like you then overcompensated for.
Yeah, well, if you don't mind, back to your website, I wrote something down that you have published. And if I could quote you, it says, "My vision for you is to remember, to reclaim all parts of yourself, to live in truth, to remember your purpose and soul gifts, and to live from a place of creativity and expansion." Sarah, how to uncover all the lost parts of yourself. And so this is what it seems, as now a certified practitioner, you're bringing into your fuller suite of energy and a channel of light to help other people. So bless you. And by the way, is there a particular star that when you found and saw your galactic astrology report for the first time, was there a particular soul connection that you said, oh my goodness, this is the key that helps unlock everything?
It's such an interesting question, because I love all the stars, all of them. I think I'm definitely really feel really connected to Andromeda Galaxy, because that's my original point of incarnation. Also Hydra, because of the feminine, and then the connection to creation, but also Orion and Lyra. I think Lyra is very representative of what we're experiencing on Earth. this polarity, and I find it so interesting. I think so many beings on earth right now are experiencing similar types of karmic patterns, and cycles. So yeah, I love them all. I just think that there's so much to learn.
Well, great. So the next portion, we've talked a little bit about your journey and then your current day with your beautiful website. Now we're looking at the future. If you had any comments around the clients that you'd love to help support, is there a particular flavor that you're thinking that will be drawn towards you?
Hmm. I think to date, my work has very much been working with the feminine. I love to work with women who are ready to be empowered, to really come home to themselves, the soul purpose, the gifts. I also really like to work with children, not necessarily really young children, but like teenage years. I think we have a massive job within the next generation. We have so many children, young adults, young children coming, being incarnated on earth at this time, and they're here to do such a specific and special role, in raising the vibration of Mother Earth. And I think they need guidance, they need support, they really need help in uncovering who they are, zooming out and asking those bigger questions. So I feel really passionate about, that as well. But I'm very open and trusting of spirit and the divine, and knowing that whomever is supposed to come to me will come to me, and that will shift and change. Surrender. I'm very in surrender, and in trust. So yeah, anybody who is just wants to know more about who they are and is interested in the evolution of their own soul, really is, yeah.
I love that. Thank you. Do you have anything that you feel is important to share at this time, to remind the viewers of at this time? Anything that you are pondering that you would love to highlight as maybe a theme that you're seeing is occurring, something encouraging, inspiring?
Yeah, I think I feel really positive about the future. And I think I'm seeing so many changes in people's levels of consciousness. People are really starting to wake up, to ask the bigger questions, to challenge the narrative, and to explore who they are, beyond, this kind of dimension. So I think my advice would be to keep questioning, to keep getting to know yourself, to work with, who you are, at the essence of who you are, and be part of this magnificent new earth that's been created, because it's such an exciting time to be alive. There's a lot of negative polarity out there, and it's so easy for us to get pulled into it, but we've got to be conscious about where our thoughts are, because that is our vibration. And I love the words of Marianne Williamson. We apply our intention in one of two ways. We're either acting out of love or acting out of fear, and it's just so powerful. Keep coming back to love. We need more love. We need more union and understanding. And for me, that is bringing those feminine energies back in. There's such an amazing, an important role for us all to play. It takes a community of people to make these changes. So yeah, that's kind of what I would say. Mm.
That's a powerful message. Thank you so much. And the message you had for our classmates in the Quantum Soul Guidance Practitioners Program, because you started not too long ago, right? And here you are today. So, what would you say to
Yeah.
our class?
Well, for me, it was like I actually couldn't stop learning. Every night it was like I just wanted to. It was just, it's such a comprehensive and supportive community, and the course is I mean, I've done so many courses, you know, and I've done so much learning. But for me, the way Julia and Ursula that you hold space and the material is just so powerful, and there's so much to learn. My advice would be to just trust your own process, and there's definitely an integration piece. You know, I definitely felt the days that I learned and then the days that I needed to integrate, you know, where I just needed to not do anything. And I think we can overwhelm ourselves too much with information, and actually the integration is as important as the learning. But I felt very safe and held throughout the whole of my journey, and still do. And I think for me, this is something for life. You know, this community is a family, and it's a really special but also crucial thing when you're doing this type of work, because it can be quite lonely sometimes. So yeah, I thank you for that, because I felt very held and supported throughout it all. So yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much for highlighting the importance of integration. And while you were speaking, what came through is something about your children, and it's a theme that I've seen with so many young mothers. Somehow, children come to activate your galactic mission, activate your deep soul memories of your ancient lifetimes and connections, and it's just so amazing to see how it happens. And no matter what you want to do and how much you want to control it, it will just sweep you off your feet, and here you are, more amazing than ever, and ready to be of service and help guide those that are a few steps behind you. So it's just so beautiful what's happening on Earth, and I feel so excited to play here with you all and share this journey. So much love, so much joy. Thank you. Super well done.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Sarah. We're very excited for you, and it's auspicious that you do hold the 13th Quantum Soul Guidance Practitioner. And so if anyone listening is interested in learning more about this course, or any of Julia Balaz's other online courses, go to galacticastrochart.com. You can get your free online natal chart, and then you can look under online classes, and you can find the practitioner's course. Now, Sarah, when you started the course, did you intend to become a practitioner, or did that just kind of evolve?
I intended it.
Good.
As
Because
soon as I saw it, I was like, yeah, that's definitely another part of my journey. I felt there was no hesitation whatsoever. Full body yes.
well, there you go. Wisdom and remembering.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. We'll see you all again soon. Much
See
love.
you next time.
Bye.
Congratulations. Bye.